Hi, welcome to today's mini lesson on engaging families in student learning. We're keeping it short to maximize your time while still having a mighty impact on learning. Our mini lesson is driven by the question, what's your objective for engaging families with student learning? Understanding your why will help inform your approach. Some common objectives include sharing class experiences, day-to-day communication, and developing a partnership in learning. Today I'll showcase this primarily through the family account, but we will also drop into the teacher account as well. Welcome to Chantel Mitchell's family account. She was invited by her son Jack's teacher, Miss Silva. SpacesEDU family invites are by class and are initiated by that class's teacher. For families with multiple students or students with multiple classes, those invites must come from each class's teacher, but are all accessible via one account. Chantel has just been invited to join her daughter Stephanie's class. She can accept this via an invite sent to her an email or right within SpacesEDU invitations. Great! Now Chantel can interact with both Jack and Stephanie's learning, either by accessing each class or from a combined feed in this blue box here. Jumping into her son Jack's class with Miss Silva, her entry point is the various learning environments, or spaces, that Miss Silva has provided family access to. Let's check one out. My Personal Space is a private one-to-one learning environment, and here Chantel can view Jack's learning to see his progress over time, in the posts that he's created, in reflections, as well as teacher feedback. She can add emoji reactions as a quick interaction, but she can also leave written or media-based comments to celebrate, encourage, and communicate with both Jack and Miss Silva. Now, not to state the obvious to an audience of educators, but assessment practices have changed over time, from the standards themselves to the proficiency that's applied. Developing family understanding of changes in assessment is multifaceted, but SpacesEDU can help with this. Competencies, paired with evidence of learning, brings the curriculum to life. In this case, we can see the construction of the final product, and we can also read Jack's rationale for determining whether his product meets its objective, in this case, the person he's gifting it to. Seeing Miss Silva's assessment here, we can see that Jack was successful. Way to go, Jack! Many families gravitate to the feed, which is an overall view of their students' work in SpacesEDU. Here, they also have access to proficiency scale descriptors, as well as helpful resources. If using the reporting space, families can view a student's report card and/or a teacher-curated visual report. Some districts use the reporting space for formal reporting, where others use it for informal learning updates or as a conferencing tool. For additional communication, many teachers choose to use messages to easily communicate with family. Channels and private messages are teacher-initiated, and teachers can choose one-way or two-way communication. In this channel with all students and families, Ms. Silva has opted for one-way communication. She's sharing a video from today's science fair to engage with those that couldn't make it. She's also shared some great prompts to keep the conversation going at the dinner table. In a private message to Chantel, Ms. Silva has enabled two-way messaging. Jack has made great progress in reading informational text. Chantel can respond with written and media-based comments. In this case, a Newsella article. Overall, it's a homeschool partnership with the same goal, Jack's growth. Before leaving the family account, I want to draw your attention to account settings. With email and in-app notification, families can customize how they receive notifications. It helps them stay engaged, but in a way that works for them. All right, let's make some connections between the family account and the teacher account to see how everything comes together. We'll start with space visibility. In Chantel's account, the only one-to-one space visible was My Personal Space. As you can see, family access is visible and commenting is enabled. Now in this IEP space, Jack is one of two students, but Miss Silva is currently using this for anecdotal notes between her and Jack's learning support teacher, who is a co-teacher in this class. So neither Jack or his mother at the moment have visibility. As for the core competency space, Jack has access, but Ms. Silva is waiting for students to add posts to the space before she provides family access. The same goes for the class space and the reporting space. If using SpacesEDU for assessment, teachers can adjust at any time curriculum tag and proficiency visibility to best meet the time of year, communication needs, or their overall objectives for family engagement in assessment. In the Messages tab, teachers can always adjust their one-way or two-way communication preferences, and messages have read receipts. This includes a date and time stamp. Finally, in the People tab, teachers can see when students and families last accessed their class. Some family members may not be interacting with learning by adding comments and emoji reactions, but they are still engaged by viewing their students' work. Now, you might have the question, all this is great, but how can I invite families to engage with my class in SpacesEDU? What a great question to close out our mini lesson today. Each student can have up to 5 invited family members. This can be done manually by entering their email address and sending the invite. Or, if your district IT has rostering set up between your student information system and SpacesEDU, and your imports include family records, teachers do not need to manually input family emails. That said, the import doesn't automatically send the invite to families. Teachers must choose which family members to send the invite to by selecting all or choosing from a list. I hope that today's mini lesson inspired you to think about your objective for family engagement. Whether it's for sharing class experiences, day-to-day communication, or developing a partnership in learning, SpacesEDU is flexible to meet your needs and preferences. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention, just like students and teachers, families can download the SpacesEDU app to their mobile devices, making engagement even easier, whether it's waiting in line at the grocery store or relaxing on the couch. Thank you for your time today. Do not hesitate to reach out to our friendly support team at hello@spacesedu.com or to check out our website for great content and resources.